Guys, there's something very important that we need to discuss for a minute, and I'm not joking. I'm really serious here. The Steelers represent. The Browns have been in misery for 30 years, essentially.
They have.
And the Steelers, more than any team in football, represent that misery. Because the Steelers have not only beaten the Browns more than any other team during this 30-year stretch, but they've humiliated the Browns time and time and time again, not only by beating them and beating them up on the scoreboard, but by beating them up physically. How many times?
Kicking the punter
Kicking the punter in the face. How many times have we seen the Steelers humiliate the Browns? Colt McCoy beating the tar out of Colt McCoy. Nobody did anything. No. Not only do I want to see the Browns win on Monday, I want the Browns to humiliate the Steelers. If they're up 30, go for another. Jay lives in his fears. Don't listen to Jay. He lives in his fears. If you're up big, keep your foot on the gas. Score another touchdown and another. And the Browns, they need to play with a physicality that we haven't seen from this franchise in a long time. I'm not saying play dirty or take cheap shots or hit knees, but every tackle, hard, tough, nasty. They need to send a message that this is not the same old Browns, that the Browns ain't the Browns anymore. They need to be the more physical team. They need to dominate this game and really send a message that we are finally here.
To that point, the playoff win should have been that moment, right?
It should have been.
So
Yeah,
why are we still here?
You know why? Because we didn't follow it up.
Yeah.
And the Steelers, to your point, always followed it up.
That's right.
That playoff game felt like...
They just beat us year after year, game after game, and humiliated us game after game.
Right.
The playoff game felt like the final shovel of dirt
It felt
on
like
Ben.
the worm had turned.
It's over.
Because-
the Browns are here.
Right.
And then, like, the last 2 years,
That
it feels
was the
like
end,
nothing's changed.
Yeah.
And that game was the end of the Roethlisberger era. That was it.
You see, some dynasties back in history, when you lose the king, guess what? Your whole kingdom could get slashed and knocked down in 5 days. Like Rome got burnt in 1 day, and they were like, "What books?" You got to look at the fact that the reason why it felt like that is because the person that was supposed to lead you, the general, the quarterback, the guy that can consistently see quarterbacks play for 10, 15 years. If you got one, that's how long your dynasty is, right?
Yeah.
You'll be competitive. But ours stopped right at that point because we didn't have the quarterback anymore. We were
the
confused.
coach, too.
And you need the coach,
The
too.
coach is the same guy. So
And both
let's
lockstep.
just erase what happened the last 2 seasons, and let's just pick up where we left off after the playoff win. And I hope, and to your point, that happens on defense. That mentality comes from
100%,
defense.
yes.
And with Joe Woods, it just felt like we were daisy picking defense.
Yeah.
With Greg Williams, it didn't feel like that.
No.
Greg Williams felt like we want to bash these guys to the dirt. We want to bury them in the ground.
You can't play – when you play defense, I'm sorry, maybe it may work somewhere else. I just haven't seen it yet. Playing defense is a mindset. It's
an attitude.
It's a way of life. I don't like nice guys on defense. You can't be no nice guy and shaking hands and kissing babies and all that other stuff.
Is Myles too nice?
No, Myles Garrett is nasty enough. Like Myles Garrett is good, but what you brought was somebody in Zadarius Smith. Tim Couch just said
That had the dog in him.
He wants to compete at that same level. See, everybody else is going to bow to Myles Garrett. He's going to tell Myles Garrett, "Oh, you got to compete with me because I want them sacks too. I'm not looking for you to make plays. I like playmakers. I want guys who make plays." And so that's why you feel that energy level because everybody wants to get to the ball now. Delpit, Anthony Walker, everybody wants it. So that's why I
asked that about Myles because he's got a pleasant demeanor. He's a nice guy. And we as we've been scratching our head trying to figure out what it is that's keeping him from busting through that glass ceiling to become not just because he's an elite, we all agree with that, but with him we all say he's got the ability to be the bar, the best.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, is it a lack of dog instinct?
His personality reminds me a lot like Michael Strahan.
Right.
Michael Strahan's not a really mean guy.
No.
He's on Good Morning America.
Warren Sapp was mean.
He's mean.
Yeah.
He was mean.
But he needs to be meaner. They all need to be meaner.
Yeah, I want him to play
want to see
angry.
Steelers players. I know some people are going to cringe when they say this. I don't give a you-know-what. I need Steelers players to leave the game and need help to get off the field. Make all the cringe faces you want. I don't want anybody disabled or hurt permanently. Kick their behind.
Roger Goodell
Let's
on line
do it.
one.
Let's go.
Roger
Let's
Goodell
go.
on line
So
one.
Stop it. The Browns have been soft for 30 years. It's enough. They got to send the message.
In the aftermath, Bull, this goes right to what you were saying. I thought you were done. I didn't mean to cut you off on that last rant.
He was on a
But
roll. You should have let him go.
I thought he was done. He took a deep breath. I can't.
Well, he's got to breathe at some point.
What you guys don't know is this box that sits right in front of us. I actually
know.
can't see Bull
I know.
without like. So Bull,
took a breath.
I sincerely apologize.
It's all right.
He cuts
I had
everybody off. You're fine.
What I
try
had
not
to add
to.
to this,
I try
and
not
this is Jay. Remember I told you I had a stat that was going to blow your mind earlier?
yes.
Well, in my bad math, I forgot to mention the stat that I was talking about.
Okay.
The difference, and PFF grades, granted, we understand not everything. Dan Moore was the lowest graded offensive starter. That's the Steelers' left tackle in the entire NFL according to PFF. He alone gave up 9 pressures.
Was he on Bosa, though, all day?
And Drake Jackson.
Okay,
He gave
so
up
9
9 pressures,
pressures.
6
That's-
hurries,
I mean,
2 hits, and a sack.
Going against.
Yeah, but he's
He
going
had a
against Myles
30
Garrett and Darius Smith this week.
Well, it bodes
He,
well for us.
that's what I'm getting at. He had a 33.7 overall in pass blocking grade.
Wow.
Pass
The
block.
difference,
Oh my
the
God.
difference
Jed Wills
between
like-
Myles Garrett and Zadarius Smith, who were both 90.5, 90.2, and Dan Moore at 33.7 is the largest single difference of PFF grades between any offensive tackle and their projected matchup at defensive
Okay, that's
end.
a great stat, and it does bode well for us. And Bull, I got to tell you,
Yeah.
outside of the needing help part, I don't want to see anybody get injured because this is human drama we're talking about.
Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more. I almost wish, I hope that they can we get a clip of this over to Kevin Stefanski? Can you inbox that to Kevin? His
Yeah,
tweet?
I got him online. He actually texted me he's going to watch at 12:30 when
I
we go
just
on
need
Channel
him.
3.
Good. I just need him to play that in the locker room before the game because that is the message they do need to hear, Bull.
Yeah.
It's time that we end this nonsense charade of being their baby brother.
That's right.
Not even little
It's
brother.
enough.
I'm done with that.
To your point, Bull, I will say for Myles Garrett, I mean, he is known for once upon a time beating somebody over the head with a helmet.
That's right. I think he's nasty. But I think Myles is nasty enough. It doesn't come out.
How
all the
much
time.
meaner can he get?
I mean,
you know what?
what you want, dog?
Miles is who he is. He doesn't need to change his personality. He's
No.
not.
if he's got the right guys around him, and he
He's
does
not
now.
mean on the field, though.
He's not going to bite the head off a bat and drink the blood. That's not who he is. But
I'm glad.
but you can't fake who you are, and he
fair.
is nasty on the field.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back and I've already said there were things in the offseason I wish he would have done better and done differently. But this is who he is.
Yeah.
And on the field, he's a terror.
I can't
and we
remember
know
who the
that.
quarterback was, but one time I saw him help the quarterback that he just knocked to the ground up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen
I
that.
didn't like that.
Oh, I don't mind that at all.
I didn't like that.
Because you know what? You help him up and say, I'm going to put you there again.
and
Yeah,
you-
like,
I'm
I'm
not
put
a
you there
fan of
again.
that, but hey.
By the
all I can say
way,
is Myles Garrett.
that landing with all of your weight on the quarterback is the Myles Garrett rule. Myles Garrett in his first year used to get these 15-yard penalties. Remember?
Yep.
He'd hit the quarterback and land on him, and they throw flags because they're like, you can't land all of your body weight because he was breaking people's shoulders. I mean, he's just good. I mean, Myles Garrett can like
exceptional.
dinosaurs, and
It
you
was
can't
actually
block him.
that Steelers game when he got flagged for that roughing.
Yeah, right.
And it was we looked at that and went, and I talked to him
What's
after
funny,
that
though,
game.
now when we see that, we're like, oh, that's a penalty.
Yeah,
But
why-
in the moment, we're like, that's a penalty?
After that game, I talked to him and I said, do you know what a penalty is anymore? And he said, no. And he said, the way that they expect me to hit quarterbacks
Yeah.
And then roll over.
angle and
Levitate.
roll off them,
Or defy
he said,
gravity.
I'm going to injure myself trying not to land on them. But clearly, I guess they've all
Now he
adjusted
does it
and
perfect.
adapted.
Now
I get
they
it.
know.
I get you don't want to like have them driving them into the ground,
Right.
but to just fall on a guy. I mean,
Yeah,
what
I
can you
know.
do? But anyway,
Remember Turkey Joe Jones and Terry Bradshaw?
Yeah.
He turned him upside down and spiked him into the ground helmet
You
first.
can't do that no more either. You can't pick nobody up and slam them. Horse collaring was a
Oh,
thing
no.
of the like you. That was how
You
I
do
was
that now and
tackling.
you're getting a vacation.
By the way, have you seen Terry Bradshaw's statistics? They're so awful.
well, boy, you talk about this all the time with kickers.
Yeah.
It's not that he's so awful. He was good in his day. 50% completion rate and half of an interception to touchdown ratio was outstanding.
I think
the
he threw
game
more
is
picks.
different
I
now.
think he threw more picks than touchdowns.
I
in his
don't
career.
think he did, but other greats did.
I mean, go look at Lynn Swan's numbers and tell me how he's in the Hall of Fame.
Well,
Yeah.
Super Bowls.
Yeah, it's
That's
amazing.
why.
And that's why.
You know, we
yeah.
think of Paul Warfield as the greatest receiver in Browns history,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
I believe he had one 1,000-yard season.
That's nuts. They just never threw the ball.
And I think the most balls he ever caught in a season was like 50.
I mean, wasn't it?
It's a different game now.
I've never seen Lynn Swan stats before, but holy, you know what, Jason?
Right?
Yeah,
Right?
Well, it was. But listen, they were
He's
exceptional in the era.
He's in the
Yeah.
freaking Hall of Fame.
I mean, Bradshaw
and
throw more
deservedly
picks
so,
than
I'll
touchdowns,
say.
Mike.
Super Bowls. That's why he's in the Hall of
He
Fame.
made
It's
Super
great
Bowls.
catches in Super Bowls too. You remember the one against the Rams where he hit it
Yeah.
and he concentrated on the ball and caught it falling down. That's
Yeah.
like the iconic.
Yeah.
Lil
But
Swan
what's
catch.
what's his numbers, Mike, if you got him?
His entire career is essentially Justin Jefferson.
His entire Lynn's entire career?
Wow. Crazy.
Is essentially Justin
Yeah.
Jefferson.
Now it is a different
different
era.
game.
It's hard
I
to
mean,
you
much
can't
different
compare.
game.
Woody Hayes used to say 3 things can happen when you throw the ball, and 2 of them are bad.
Yes.
So
Yeah,
that's
I
how
mean,
they all
in those
live by.
days, if you had 1,000 yards, you had a magnificent season as a
Well,
wide receiver.
he only
now
did it once.
Now 1,000 yards to me means nothing.
Even if you go
Because
look at Joe Namath.
it's a throw happy league.
Yeah.
And
Joe
that's why.
Lynn Swan
Joe
never had
Namath,
1,000.
but you look at his stats, and I'm like,
Namath's stats weren't good
name
either.
his stat. I'm like, you got in because you had a
Namath
fur
may have had
coat.
more picks than touchdowns. But back then, it was just different. Guys threw a lot of interceptions. Tom
And
Darby
you
one
could
year, I
hold
think, led the
receivers,
league with
too.
7 interceptions. Who's going to get 7 interceptions this year?
Nobody.
With 17 games.
No,
it's
it's
crazy.
crazy.